right here. We got right here. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, we know what that is. We know what that is. The Atari goodness. Papa Brad's got it. The Atari 2600 Plus. Let's rock and roll. This is Papa Brad's Gaming with his quick review of the Atari 2600 Plus console. I've had this in my hands. I've been loving it. What this is and what it isn't. This is a authentic reproduction of the classic Atari 2600 with HDMI out. It comes with a cartridge that plays 10 games, including Yar's Revenge and Asteroids 2 and Adventure. Some of the best Atari cartridges are on the 10 included games. You get some real good ones. But who this is for the classic Atari collector. I mean, I've easily played 50 to 60 of my classic cartridges in this machine now. They emulate perfectly, 7800s, 2600 games. Fantastic. This is the product. If you're an Atari collector, this is the product you've been waiting for. HDMI output. It modernizes the experience of playing these retro games. This is a must-have for any Atari collector. I'm going to rate this a 9 out of 10. Only thing could have made it better was if it had a memory slot and we could sideload ROMs. Other than that, this is the perfect product. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the Atari 2600 Plus, because what they've done, which a lot of other consoles have not been able to do, is they have perfect paddle emulation. A game like Kaboom, you cannot even play without the paddles being dead on. Fantastic product. Gets a strong recommendation from Papa Brad's Gaming. I'm going to show some of the content leading up to this review, but overall, if you're a fan of Atari, what are you waiting for? Go get it. It's great. Okay, there you go. There's my quick review of the Atari 2600 Plus. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, Dark Realm Gaming. Hope you have a not so Grinchy day. I'm going to be playing some Grinch pinball later for sure. One of my favorite pinball tables on my At Games Legends pinball. The Atari 2600 Plus, this mug right here. Yes, this is fantastic. This lives up to the hype. This is a modernized version of the Atari 2600 console. If you're a fan of Atari and you're a fan of having real, authentic, original hardware, it's a great option. I mean, when I say literally 99% of my collection is working on this, and the thing that's incredible with this product is they have paddle emulation correct. It's so difficult to get good paddle emulation on these Atari consoles. But if you're a fan of Atari like Papa Brad, and wear my Atari Matt shirt, one incredible musician that uses Ataris to play music. If you're a fan of Atari, this is the product you've been waiting for. My review didn't take long to do. I will post the short, whatever 3 or 4 minute review where I describe what it is. This is basically the same thing as having a original Atari 2600, but it's going to output HDMI. Basically, you plug the cartridge into it. It scans the ROM, then dumps it to your television set. But I'm getting very good compatibility. I will do a quick tutorial on how to clean your cartridges. You will need to clean your cartridges before plugging them in. The buttons on it feel crisp, just like the original Atari 2600. You get basically an exact replica new Atari 2600 joystick. So there's a lot that they're giving you. That's very cool. Hey, Dan Z, welcome to the stream, Dark Realm Gaming. Welcome to the stream, Jason. Jason will be giving away an Atari 2600 Plus when we hit 2,600 on Papa Brad's gaming subscribers, 2,600 subscribers. And man, can you believe it? I can't believe it. We're only 10 subscribers away now from having 2,600 subscribers. It's a miracle. So hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving weekend. Hope everyone is well. Hope you're well too, Jason. And I'm just going to do a little retrospective of how did I get up to this point. And I've got some pretty cool footage that I dug out of the archives. I will put up the short review if you want to catch the short review. It's about 4 minutes. Basically tells you all you need to know about this 2600 Plus console, which I now have thoroughly tested. I have played probably at least 60 games on it. So I feel pretty confident in giving this a full recommendation. Been loving it. I do tell you what my critique is. I think the one thing they missed is there's no way to add your own ROMs. This would have had where we could put our ROMs on it as well. This would have been a 10 out of 10. Very strong product. This is how you do retro console emulation right. If you're a person that has a bunch of ancient Atari cartridges, you'd be surprised. You can dust those suckers off. Use a little alcohol. You need to clean them. I have a little brush here I use to clean them. They're really bad. You might want to use a Q-tip or a toothbrush. But fantastic emulation. Very impressive, especially that the paddle games work, because the paddle games never work right on most emulation devices. And that includes the Retron 77, which I also have. I have multiple Ataris too. So let's go back and see what is an Atari 2600 Plus. And to tell us is going to be the CEO of Atari himself is going to tell us what an Atari 2600 Plus is. So let's find out.
It's a perfect time to introduce an entirely new generation to what is the very first generation of games. Well, we've been dreaming it up pretty much since I came on board, because I'm a big avid retro gamer, and getting old cartridges and old content to work on modern televisions is a huge pain. Either you have to get upscalers, or you use CRT televisions, and then you have you have to work, solder on composite cables. So it was a decision we made early, and then it was really about finding the right partner and the right way to initiate the project. I think now's...
Yeah, just getting an Atari to work is not very difficult. I just want to stop it right here. I mean, basically, you can go to Goodwill and buy a TV for $10 and an old Atari and get it to work. So, do you find getting old hardware is difficult?
I mean, you wanted HDMI. You really do.
I mean, I think
especially on a newer TV. But if you're on an old TV, you're fine.
Yeah, on a modern television set, it's hard to get it work. But as far as if you're willing to just have one of those old giant TVs around,
not many people are.
Yeah, well, I am. I totally am, because I love retro gaming. And most hardcore retro gamers, we have our TVs and our old school TVs and ways to hook these things up. So,
but
go ahead.
I like his idea though, because I want to play cartridges again. I think it's great, but I want to hook it up to a modern TV with HDMI. So concept I like.
I do like the concept, and I just put my Atari collection kind of interspersed with this to show that all these original cartridges, I can't wait to try them with this new machine they're making. And so let's continue. But I'm going to show don't be afraid also if you want to go old school. It's not hard. It is easier if you use an old TV though.
It's a great time because many of the other products, whether it's Nintendo or Super Nintendo or Genesis, there are ways to access that content and play it. But if you have old Atari 2600 carts, unless you do want to get an old CRT television and solder on some new components, it's almost impossible to get it working in this day and age. And I think that means that there's an entire generation of video games that are lost. And so, that's that's why it's a perfect time to introduce an entirely new generation to what is the very first generation of games.
Well, I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, if that doesn't get you stoked, I mean, that looked beautiful, huh? That shot
Gorgeous!
the shot of the Atari and of the cartridges. I was like, now this is how you pay a little bit of tribute to the Atari. I mean, pretty awesome.
Out of the box, it is the base console, which plays 2600 and 7800 games. So it's modeled after the original 2600, a little bit smaller, but it has the functionality of the 7800, which could play 78 and had backwards compatibility for the 20.
Okay, now that is the huge thing. It will play the 7800 games as well as the 2600 games. You know, the 7800 is a hard system to collect for. The machines are expensive. The cartridges are hard to find.
Well, then why am I going to buy this to play it if it's hard to find and expensive?
You can find them. They're not impossible to find. I'm just saying they're harder to find. But Hollywood Polo has a comment. At the iiRcadians, Brad, I don't see the point of that since it's a digital file. You can play on many formats. But different strokes for different folks, I guess. And what I'm saying is the ease of this is going to be easy. And we're going to get to them buying Atari Soft at the end of this video, which I think is the perfect move. Like, you could not have picked a better move for Atari to do, because they're going to the source where a lot of the indie and homebrew stuff, the best things that are available for the Atari that is new, comes from Atari Age, you know, Steps. So, I mean, I'm excited to see where this is going to go. I think it's interesting. And, you know, when you listen to the CEO of Atari, I wrote his name down, Wade Rosen. Now, have you ever seen Wade Rosen before?
Yes, I have.
I've never seen him before. This is my first time I've seen him. And I have to admit, I'm impressed with the way he's talking about the Atari 2600. He pretty much impressed me.
He's way younger than the Atari 2600.
I know, buddy. You can tell he digs it. I mean, you can tell he digs retro games. And the 5200 has a different cartridge size. So I think if they were going to do a cartridge slot, I mean, I don't want a Franken console. This thing looks like an Atari 2600. They would have had to put 2 different cartridge slots for the 5200. But you know, if it's possible to like download games in the future, who knows? You know, or even possibly emulate it. You know, but let's continue. Anyway, yeah, I think having the 5200 emulation, to me, that's not a big deal at all. I mean, the bangers for Atari are the 7800 and the 2600 for sure. The 7800 does have a very small game library. So, but it does have some excellent games, which I'm starting to collect right now, physical cartridges of. Got some good ones right now. I just got a Robotron, which is absolutely amazing. You didn't catch my review live. This mug right here, give it a 9 out of 10. Very strong emulation, very good compatibility. It does run into some issues, like some games, like Pitfall 2, for example, has extra chips in the cartridge. Not going to run that game, but like about 90% of my cartridges I'm finding run smoothly and actually very well. And the other thing is too, paddle games. I mean, we have not had a good system like this that could play paddle games accurately. And I'm sure that's why they released brand new paddles with the cartridge, which is not a bad way to go if you don't have Atari paddles. I might have to get some of those, but yeah, if you can play Kaboom on it, Kaboom is the test. Because unless your paddles are dead on accurate, you will not be able to play Kaboom. And this plays Kaboom. That's impressive to me. Good emulation, good compatibility. And I have a massive Atari collection. Like I said, I've at least played 60 cartridges. So, you know, you could see I have a real 7800 back there playing some Miss Pac-Man. And I went from playing it on original hardware on an old television set. I got my television set from Goodwill for $10. It's fantastic for retro games. I went from that to playing it on an HDMI. Later, I'm going to hook it up to my wife. Just got a 75-inch TV for Black Friday. We're going to hook that Atari mug up on that and see what it looks like. I would never be able to do that. You know, little tiny Papa Brad, when he was a kid, never thought he would be able to play these Atari games the way we can play them today, using the original cartridges. I mean, this is a gift to Atari fans. I love it. I love it. Let's go back to talking to the CEO of Atari. Flashback to one of my favorite streams I've ever done, a stream with Steps Gaming, where we talk about the 2600 plus. This is when it was announced that this would be coming out. I think it's very exciting. Continue.
Okay, let's go.
Sorry.
600, 10-in-1 game cartridge as well, and in a really cool
Look at that
retro
10-in-1
design
game
choice.
cartridge.
You actually select the games through this analog
switches
switcher here on the back, and so as you move these around, that will allow you to pick which game you're going to be.
Welcome to the stream, Mark Street.
There's a little cheat sheet right there on
welcome to the stream.
Which one you want to play. The level of memory in the console wouldn't allow for that, so the way we got around that is by developing these analog switches on the back. Same with the 4-in-1, has a similar switch system. That all.
Do you remember those switches? Like, I remember when I used to build PCs back in the day, those little switches that were on the PC where you had to, like, for different functions, you had to move switches.
Yeah, there's one of those on the Blitz PCB. I'm not even kidding.
Isn't that cool? I mean, like them doing that, I think makes it more retro. It's just a cool idea. Like, I would have never thought of doing that with the switch bank like that. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think he was saying is that they had no other choice.
Yeah,
but
it's still cool though. It's like it's super retro.
So it comes with paddle controllers. So that's that's Canyon Bomber, Video Olympics, which is Pong, Night Driver, Breakout, and then you can use it with other 2600 games as well. So any other iconic paddle control.
So let's freeze there. Not only are they making a console, but they're releasing cartridges again. You got Berserk. You've got the brand new game that they're coming out with. You got the paddle with the cartridge that plays the paddle games. I think it's pretty exciting that they're making cartridges for the 2600 that'll work in original hardware. So I think this is like a double win. It's a win-win. You know what I mean? Because the people that have the original 2600 will be able to play some of these games, and of course, you could play them on the 2600 plus.
I think it's a great concept, as I said before. I like them saying, okay, we're going to release new cartridges. I like it has HDMI. I guess it had to be emulated due to the fact that it wouldn't display an HDMI properly otherwise. But we'll have to see how it plays when it comes out. But I hope other video game companies take a hint from this. And I know we won't get it from Nintendo, but again, I'm gonna keep throwing out Sega out there. I'd love to see a Sega console.
Sega's sitting on so many great licenses.
I think there's a place for both of them, right? So mini consoles are amazing because you can plug them in, play them. They work great on HD televisions. However, you're also limited to the amount of games that come with it. And so it's our belief that there's actually two different consumers for those projects. And then we do create mini consoles, and those will be in the other options for consumers. But this is really for people who have a stack of 20 Atari games that they had when they were a kid, or anyone who's into collecting games, or really anyone who just likes physical medium.
Look at all those Atari cards, Steps. I'm gonna go crazy with this thing. Look at all those Atari cards.
The physical medium and owns vinyl records, things like that. So it was a desire to be able to allow people to access that wanted to play it in less of a set-top box and more of a bespoke way. Even the switches have that strong tactile feel towards it, moving between color, black and white, on, off, game reset. Just feels good. Feels like the original. The original console's pretty well
look at that
scoped out because it's one of those iconic consoles.
I mean, that's what they did right. I mean, look at that. That looks just like a Atari. It's just a little bit smaller, and then the Atari logo is going to light up.
He's really knowledgeable for having been born after that era, the CEO there, and he actually takes a lot of care and passion in the project, and you could see it, in the video.
You can definitely see it in the video, and that's what really excited me. I mean, you could tell that this isn't. It doesn't seem like it's just like an easy cash grab. You know, I mean, they're kind of thinking of like, what can we do with this? And the Atari age thing is a big part of that. And we'll get to that in a bit.
That has been analyzed, and we have all the design. So we started there, and kind of said, well, what size? The original is also really big, like bigger than people would probably want in a mod.
Yeah, the original is gigantic, and it's you know, you got to remember it. You know, Atari wasn't really the first video game console, but it was the kind of like the origin. You know, when you go all the way back to the the primordial ooze that video games at home came out of, Atari's there at the beginning. So why would you have to make it so big? You know, what do you think, Steps? The size thing an issue to you?
I didn't think it was that big. I mean, I don't know. I got a TurboGrafx Mini, and that thing's huge, and that's a mini console.
I remember when I had the Sega CD. Now that thing was ridiculous. It had a bass. It had so much going on with it. You know, it fit to the side of it. It was just, you fed the regular Sega, and it fit to the side of it, and it made the whole thing that much bigger. You know,
you want to see gigantic? Look at the PlayStation 5. It's like a gigantic router.
Like a monolith.
It looks like a old Linksys router, gigantic. Anyway, I think it's fine either way. 80% is probably cool, but I don't know. 100% might have been cooler. You know,
yeah. They probably could have done 100%. I mean, I know Glenn is like pining for the 6-switch model, which was the original Ataris, which were made in I think Sunnydale, California, but I'm fine. The 4-switch was the most common one. And the Vader, which is one of my favorite Ataris, the black one, was a 4-switch.
What's a Rcade? Somebody in the chat
console today. So we trimmed it back a little bit.
Oh, I think he's talking about
what are the
iiRcade.
iconic features that people do associate with the Atari 2600? Wood paneling, things. Yeah, exactly. My deep exposure to Atari was the first PC we got came packaged with Missile Command and Asteroids and Tempest and Centipede and Breakout, and I just remember playing those games and really falling in love with those and realizing how classic they were. Just that
he's saying the right thing, Steps.
There's no story. You don't even know why you're shooting the centipedes. You're just in there shooting centipedes, trying to beat your personal best. And I played for hours. And
I got to pause it right here because Centipede is one of my all-time favorite games, and like him just like coming out and saying that Centipede is one of the things he loves about Atari. I mean, I have to agree 100%.
I never played Atari or like a Centipede even until like December. I played the Atari collection. That was the first time I actually.
It's the first time you played Centipede. You never played it in the arcade with the trackball or any of that.
Correct.
Wow.
I played it with. I played it with the trackball now. I played it in the arcade now. But it's you start playing like, wow, this is really good. And Centipede's definitely probably in their top 3 releases of all time. So yeah,
it's a great experience. And did you know that the same people that made Miss Pac-Man made the Atari 2600 Centipede cartridge?
They made the Miss Pac-Man arcade game or the Miss
game.
Pac-Man
the arcade
Atari game?
They made both. They made both. That's what I'm saying. Like Atari, some of the best Atari games, like the I think it's General Computing Dynamics or whatever the company is that made Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah,
they actually made the port to the Atari 2600 for Centipede. And considering the graphics that are available on Atari 2600, they did an amazing job.
I think that really served my love of it. As time went on, I did get a chance to go back and play a lot of the older games. Berserk being one of my all-time favorites, and the new one says Enhanced Edition. It actually has the voice from the arcade, so it has the 2600 will be able to have some speech, which is a pretty.
Okay, I'll pause it right there. Let's go full screen. Okay, one reason why they bought Atari Age. Boom. Come on, focus. Atari 2600 Berserk with speech was sold and developed on Atari Age. Did you know that, Steps?
Yes.
You did know that.
You told me that before.
I told you that probably
You
before.
told me that before because you're the Atari nerd.
I was so excited that I had this cartridge that has the speech. I have the one that has the speech. And now everyone's going to have it, which is
This might also be the reason they bought Berserk from Stern.
Yeah, I mean, it is by far the best version. Berserk is one of the best arcade ports that was done to the 2600.
I believe that.
the robot speech was all that was missing. And like this port, which was actually released by Atari Age, and I had to have it as soon as I found out about it. They're going to release that under the Atari brand with a box where you can get everything brand new. I think that's pretty exciting for a retro nerd like me that loves Atari. Actually, that's pretty exciting.
Berserk,
It's a rarity for
Berserk.
2600 and diagonal shots. So
Sorry, we don't have the Berserk money. The Berserk money is on Steps' channel, by the way. She has a great super chat, and I love giving you Berserk money. I hope you do buckle down and get that.
I want to, yeah, I want to buy it.
Might be too late now.
Well, I
is
can't
still
pre-order
available?
it. I have to buy it
Yeah.
once it's released, I guess, because it's just they didn't have PayPal, and I had PayPal, and that was all I had. And so-
Hollywood Polo with an interesting question. Would I rather get the GRS control deck? I did get it. I ordered that as well. So this might be in addition to that. But yeah,
I do have a GRS control deck already ordered. Yes, I do have that.
You know, I love buying stuff from Glenn because I always know it's going to be good quality. And you have a video out on the Atari joystick that he did, and you had a Glenn on as a guest, didn't you?
I did, and
So let's
was
give him a little shout out and a little love.
I was one of the first people to have him on. Me, Rexer did, then I did the next day, and then so it's there. We talked about it. I'm really excited for it, and I really want to play Guerrilla War with it because I was a big fan of Guerrilla War on the NES. And apparently, after he started, I did some research on his stick. I was like, "Oh, Guerrilla War in the arcade used this joystick."
Yeah.
So that's probably the real reason why I want it, is because I have fond memories of playing Guerrilla War. So there you go.
It's gonna bring us a way to play rotary joystick games, which really doesn't exist. So I mean, he's giving us controls so we can play some of these classic arcades with the right controls, and I think that's admirable. You know,
you ever go to the video rental store and you buy like their used games they're selling? Like back in the day,
yeah.
Like that's how I got. That's how I got Guerrilla War for the NES. It was like $5 at Blockbuster.
Half of my game collection had Blockbuster stickers on it, you know.
And then you like didn't get as many games back then, so you'd like play the crap out of it, and you're like, and then you wouldn't want to buy crappy games. No. But for $5 you didn't care. You took a chance, but
for sure
you play the hell out of those things when you get them.
For sure, you played what you had. Herb Wars is here. He says Atari rocks. So glad to see Herb.
This is live, Carlo.
Man, Herb Wars. He's got an
live,
awesome
baby.
I love his channel. And we're just talking about Atari with the CEO of Atari here. We got a clip from iiRcadians. Please go drop those guys a sub. They put out this amazing produced video with the CEO of Atari. And this really showed a lot more footage of the product being played, it being used. So I thought this was by far this is the biggest Atari news video to me that's on the internet right now on YouTube.
some nice little upgrades for the new Berserk that's coming out as well. So the pre-orders will be live until it starts shipping in November, and then it'll be available in most retail outlets and online after that. One of the important things to note though is this isn't a, hey, we're going to ship the console, it's going to be on the market and we're done. We really view this as a living ecosystem. So Mr. Run and Jump, which is also plugged in right now, is a brand new Atari 2600.
That's the one. I'm probably going to purchase that, Mr. Run and Jump. I think I'm going to get that from my Atari.
Game. We actually released a modern game for the PS5, Switch, Xbox, based on this. But this was a new 2600 game built in assembly that we just loved, and we thought it was fantastic. So the desire is to continue to
look at that, Steps. Running an Atari cart, brand new hardware with a brand new cartridge, running Atari. I mean, how crazy is that? And that console looks good. I mean, I'm looking at that. It looks pretty legit to me. I mean,
release new content, really treat this as a living ecosystem, hardware. Find the best game makers and bring that and feature that in a meaningful way. So yeah, this is the start of hopefully the expansion of the classic Atari ecosystem. And I think all older consoles are actually like that. We think of them as just set consoles that had a lifespan. But I mean, people are constantly developing games for the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Genesis and GBA. Even the Jaguar has a really vibrant homebrew community. And so yeah, it's a desire to support those things and to allow those things to have longer lifespans.
Anyway, that was the video. Subscribe to iiRcadians. Link in the description to this amazing interview. So what did you think of that video, Steps? I'll pause it right here.
Well, obviously I knew about the 2600 plus, and I kind of
Wow.
could it on my channel, and I talked about it a few times.
We both
But
did. To be fair,
I have seen videos with that gentleman. I forget his name. The younger CEO of Atari before.
Yeah.
And
Wade Rosen.
Yeah. Anyway, I think he is very passionate about the product. I think he definitely has passion, cares, and I'm really excited to see more of what Atari has to offer. And honestly, since things like your beloved iiRcade died,
yeah, it's dead.
I think it's worth looking at the Atari VCS as well, because you're going to get that similar experience that you got on the iiRcade, and I think where a lot of us are missing that experience, and it might be something that we should look into. But
maybe down the road for sure.
Yeah, him being there and showing the passion makes me a lot more interested in their product.
It's a perfect time to introduce an entirely new generation to what is the very first generation of games. Well, we've been dreaming it up pretty much since I came on board, because I'm a big avid retro gamer, and getting old cartridges and old content to work on modern televisions is a huge pain. Either you have to get upscalers, or you use CRT televisions, and then you have you have to work, solder on composite cables. So it was a decision we made early, and then it was really about finding the right partner and the right way to initiate the project. I think now's a great time, because many of the other products, whether it's Nintendo or Super Nintendo or Genesis, there are ways to access that content and play it. But if you have old Atari 2600 carts, unless you do want to get an old CRT television and solder on some new components, it's almost impossible to get it working in this day and age. And I think that means that there's an entire generation of video games that are lost. And so, that's why it's a perfect time to introduce an entirely new generation to what is the very first generation of games. Out of the box.
Anyway, yeah, the first generation of games. Hey, I just want to tell everyone this is live, by the way. I'd like to say hello to everyone in the chat. Let me go back. Let's see who's in here. Let's see. Dark Realm Gaming, welcome to the stream. Jason, Lil Alien, welcome to the stream. Mark Streed, glad you're here. Biggie D's Arcade. I was on his last show. Go check it out. Biggie D's Arcade has a fantastic channel. He doesn't believe that home arcade is dead. As a matter of fact, he has a very strong channel, and I love watching his content. He's been looking for all the best deals for Black Friday. So if you're looking for some new arcades, check out Biggie D's Arcade. Great channel on YouTube. Let's see who else is here. We got the legendary Carl O. Carl O, is this live? Looks like it's live to me. This is not a restream. I am restreaming. My review took all of 3 minutes and 22 seconds to say everything I have to say about the Atari 2600 plus. So this is going to be looking at everything that led to my review. Biggie D is quick to tell us that before Nintendo, there was Atari. And that is very 100% true. Jason must also be an Atari collector, because he has 220 Atari 2600 games. I just looked it up for somebody. There's 500 and some games. But the thing with Atari, the best games they sold a gazillion of. So they're very affordable, very common. Hey, look who we got joining us. Happy Thanksgiving. We got Nick's from Nick's Reviews. Great channel. If you haven't subscribed, please go over there and subscribe to Nick's Gaming. Does a lot of cool VR content. It's got a great channel. And I did get to play against him on some of these classic Atari games. He has done some Atari streams, which are a lot of fun, including we did Spider Fighter and Demon Attack, which are two of my favorite cartridges of all time for Atari. So we're going to get back into the content. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. I do appreciate you being here. And let's go back and see what we're looking at now. We just had the CEO of Atari tell us what the Atari 2600 Plus was. and they delivered. This is a very strong product. What it is and what it is not. This is a modern version of the Atari 2600 console that will work with HDMI. About 95% of my cartridges have worked with this. And, of course, you will need to clean them because just like real original hardware, alcohol, some Q-tips or a little brush of your friend, clean those contacts to get those old carts running again. But yeah, it's working good. Let's go back and see who's going to be up next.
It is the base console, which plays 2600 and 7800 games. So it's modeled after the original 2600, a little bit smaller, but it has the functionality of the 7800, which could play 78 and had backwards compatibility for the 2600. 10-in-1 game cartridge as well, and in a really cool retro design choice, you actually select the games through this analog switcher here on the back. And so as you move these around, that will allow you to pick which game you're going to be playing of the 10. And there's a little cheat sheet right there on which one you want to play. The level of memory in the console wouldn't allow for that. So the way we got around that is by developing these analog switches on the back. Same with the 4-in-1, has a similar switch system. That also comes with paddle controllers. So that's, that's Canyon Bomber, Video Olympics, which is Pong.
We'll take a quick little pause right there. Let me pop back on, and I got this in my hands right now, in my hands right here. Here's what you get in the box. Focus. The camera takes a second to catch up. There it is. So these are the games you're going to get, and you move the dip switches on the back. Let's talk about the games it comes with. Adventure is a classic. Combat is a must-have game. Combat games, though, if you collect Atari, are so common. I almost call them coasters because they must have sold millions of combat cartridges because everyone had combat. I don't care who you were. Combat is by far the least valuable and most common cartridge. Almost every time I buy a lot of cartridges, I get another combat. You've got Dodge 'em, which is a fun game. It's where the two cars go against each other in a maze. You've got Haunted House, another classic game. Haunted House and Adventure are must-have Atari titles. Maze Craze, another good one. Missile Command, which is a fantastic port of the arcade game Missile Command. Hard to believe that the 2600 could do even any kind of acceptable. I mean, this is a machine that was made to play Pong. That was about as far as they were thinking when they designed it. Maybe Pong and one other game. Combat, maybe. But yeah, Missile Command is a banger. That is a great title. You get two of my S-tier titles. I'd say Missile Command for me is S-tier, must-have, and Yar's Revenge is an absolute must-have. This Yar's Revenge is the #1 selling Atari original game. So you get the best game ever made for the Atari, the best original game. And you get video pinball, you get surround, you get real sports volleyball. It comes in this cool little case, which I was surprised. There's the dip switches. Let me zoom in. Here's what it looks like. Very good packaging. I mean, for $130. Now, I am an outlier. Keep in mind, I have been collecting Atari cartridges since I got into retro gaming. So for me, this product was practically tailor-made for me. This is exactly what I would have wanted. It's basically a modern version of the 2600 console, and it plays the games fantastic. Yes, Yar's is amazing. Yar's Revenge is like a classic. You can give someone that doesn't know anything about Atari, once you explain to them how to play and they understand the rule set, Yar's Revenge is a masterpiece. So this is the cartridge you get. Pretty good. 10 games. And there's hundreds and hundreds of games to pick from for Atari. And this is a hobby where it's cheap to collect.
Night Driver, Breakout, and then you can use it with other 2600 games as well. So any other iconic paddle controller that you may want to use it for.
In protective plastic, sealed for its protection. Let's look at the box. Okay, so that's what it comes in a little plastic bag action. Okay. Thing opened up. Use my Italian letter opener there. Okay, there we go.
Made it back, Papa Bread.
Hey, what's up? We just showed the videos, man. Thank you so much. If you've not checked out, I'm on a show. You had some great picks. I'm on a show called Arcade Talk. Comes on usually Thursdays and Saturday night. And I am on the show with T. McCloskey. It's a fun show. If you're free, check it out. We come on Thursdays and Saturday nights. We talk about all things arcade and pinball. See, I think we showed some really good picks. Yeah, we just started this. We just started this adventure. Okay, so
I didn't miss nothing. All right.
You didn't really miss nothing, dude. So here we go.
Opening 2600.
Go back to the stream. There we go. So we can see. Okay. There's the box. Gotta use my trusty Italian letter opener here. Gotta use that again.
Don't hurt yourself.
My Italian letter opener. Okay. And
that was fast, hobby hands.
I'm going to switch to. I set up a separate camera for the stream, man. I'm going all out. All out. Let me switch to my special opening cam. Opening cam. Going to the opening cam.
Look at that.
Opening cam. Look at that opening cam. There you go. High tech. See it? I think you can all see it pretty good. Okay. This is the box. And
that's you haven't opened this yet?
No, man. I just took it off. I took it out of the protective plastic, dude. The protective plastic has been removed.
Oh,
it's no longer new. Oh, look at that. Wow, look at this. It's nice. Packaging's not bad. Look at that. It's got some plastic here. Y'all see that? Okay.
Oh, wow. The Atari 2600 is in plastic?
Yeah, it's in plastic, man.
Nice.
Make me full screen so people. We'll do a quick little pause here. Yeah, that's 100% true. Jason's talking about collecting Atari carts. And if you do collect Atari, the one thing you realize, there are as many as 3 or 4 versions of the same games because Atari had a agreement with Sears. And any of the Sears Telegames titles were titled a little different. They had a little different graphics. And even the cartridges themselves changed throughout the years. At the beginning, they had a very 70s kind of logo. And then they switched to different label variants. And then right before they went out of business, the labels were red. They had red label cartridges. So Atari is interesting. You may have as many as 4 to 5. You can have as many as 5 variants of one cartridge, which is pretty cool. If you collect them, that is one of the interesting things about Atari is that there are multiple versions of the same cartridge. Sometimes they even change the name and the graphics. So it is an interesting thing to collect for. Jason is right on that. People can see it. Can you see it? Okay. Everyone can see it good? Okay, so let's see. This lifts off. You got a little piece of plastic here. Okay.
Nice. Look at that thing.
Off.
All its glory.
Oh my goodness. You got the console here. Just looks a little bit smaller than the original.
Oh, is it? It's actually a little smaller, huh?
It's a little bit smaller. You got your destructions. Got your instructions.
Who needs instructions?
Who needs instructions? Throw those away. Let's see what else we got in here. Let's see, let me put that there. Put that
do you have that. Papa Brad, do you have any of the original ones like next to you? If not, it's okay.
I don't actually. I just switched up my original one for the 7800, so I don't have a Vader or anything near me. But here's the box, and this is your.
That's your cartridge.
This is your cartridge, and it's got little dip switches on the back. Check that out. It's pretty crazy. That's how you select the different games. I like that it has like a little slide. That's pretty cool. A little box it slides into. It's pretty fancy. Fancy Pants McGee. Fancy Pants McGee. That's pretty neat. Okay, so you got that. I'll put that right there. Let's continue opening up. Here's a look at the quick guide that comes in the box. 10 games come with it. 10 games. This is what comes in the box. This is the instruction manual. We really didn't show it on the show, but if you want to see it, there is a QR code there. Look at the original. Not sure what that does, but the joystick. You really don't need a lot of instructions for this mug. It's pretty basic. Let's hook it up.
Look at that.
And this is a look at that. It's like a joystick condom. I mean, that's a what is that? A condom for the joystick? Let's take off the joystick condom. Wow, man, I feel a little dirty. I feel a little dirty with holding this. Let me get rid of that. I feel a little dirty. Let me feel. Oh boy, that feels like opening day of the 2600. That feels legit.
When they're nice and tight.
Man, there's no wiggle or anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, this feels like an exact replica of the original Atari joystick. I
wonder
nice.
if it would or not.
Just to give you an idea, this has been my preferred joystick recently.
Yeah, I think they played the 2600 and the 7800 cartridge.
And you can see how much movement this has. Can y'all see that? I think you can. This is the company that makes the Retron this is like exactly like a real Atari joystick, but brand new. Pretty cool. This is from the Retron 77.
Yeah, only one joystick, huh?
Yeah, one joystick apparently. That's all you get. One joystick, but it's an exact replica of the original, which is pretty cool. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's see what else we got in here. We got another box.
You got another box.
Box inside of a box inside of a box. Okay, enough of this. Let's get this box off the stage. Okay.
Hey, how's it going, Thor? KC.
Here's the next box we're going to open up. Let's see what we got in here.
Yeah,
there's Atari. Hopefully I didn't tape it. Hopefully I don't need to get my Italian letter opener again.
Oh, boy.
No, I don't need the Italian letter opener. Thank goodness. Let's see here.
Yeah, you can buy another joystick, Biggie D.
Yeah. It's just a standard Atari joystick anyway.
You can buy paddles, too.
The cords do have a little Atari logo on them, which is kind of neat. I just noticed that today when I was fooling with it. The power cord and the HDMI cord have a little Atari logo on them. So that is kind of neat. Little detail like that. They didn't need to do that. They could have put a basic one in, but it actually has Atari on it, which is kind of neat. Most people have those laying around. If you're a fan of Atari, you probably have a bunch of them anyway. But this is kind of different because it's brand new. Brand new to exact specs of the original.
So, okay, so
so here's what else you get. Let's see what else we get. This looks like this must be the power cord.
So it should feel just like the original.
So you get a power cord and an HDMI cable.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's look at the power. No plug. No plug.
No
plug. There's no plug on the end of this. No USB power.
USB,
so you could just plug in
power
USB
adapter.
It's got a problem.
I got it. It doesn't come with the power. Like I guess they figure everyone's got those.
I'm gonna use a USB.
See, look, looks like a USB-C on one end.
You can just get a cube.
Yeah, everyone has those cubes laying around. I actually have one. I have one set up, so it shouldn't be but a minute. But it looks like on one end you got USB. Another end, what is that? Is that USB-C? Yeah. So this is just a standard USB cord. I mean, HDMI cord. I'm not going to open that. So we got to set up to hook this up. Okay, so at the back of this, let's see what we got. Okay, so it looks like the HDMI C is going to go into there. Yep, like that. Plug this into my power brick, which is on the ground.
Yeah, what connector end does the joystick have?
USB-C to the console and USB to the power brick. Okay. So, like, you could literally, a lot of the TVs have the little USB port. I'm sure that it could power this thing. You pause it here real quick. The switches are basically your difficulty switches, just like on an original Atari. There's a difficulty switch on the back. You have the two difficulty switches for the player 1 and player 2. Then further down, you have the aspect ratio switch, which allows you to put it in the correct 4:3 aspect ratio of Atari games. So it is configurable for if you want it stretched or if you want it to hold the original aspect ratio of the Atari. So it has all the same switches that a classic real Atari will have, including the black and white switch, which is very cool. My capture card doesn't do it, but if you hook it up to a regular TV, it actually does go black and white. Pretty cool. It's a lot of attention to detail in this product. Like, you know, your TV has a USB ports in the back of it usually.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I bet it would. Yeah. It would
And I'm assuming this is player one. Okay, here we go. The power on test. Should I put a cartridge in?
You can put the one in it came with.
I guess I could put that in. Let's see what game they set it to out the box. Okay, so here it is. Taking the cartridge out.
Yeah, you can use the old joysticks too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use the old ones. Let's go this way.
Don't break it already, Papa Brad.
Breaking it already? Oh, I gotta hook up a hold on a second. I gotta hook up a HDMI cable to it. Okay, I'm gonna take it right out of my AtGames puck, by the way, which is fantastic. I normally have the setup hooked up to my Legends Gamer from AtGames. We're just gonna switch that over to the Atari for now. Oh,
Put the ET in there.
oh now I'm causing trouble. I just disconnected it from the back. Hold on.
What are you doing over there, Papa Brad?
Yeah, this is chaos. Chaos. This is live. This is live. So,
Dark round.
hooking up my setup here. Okay, the moment of truth.
I'm gonna ship that work tonight, so I already made my turkey with leftovers.
Look at that. See the little Atari glows?
Lights up.
Just lit up. Set to adventure. I know what game that is. That's adventure.
Ah, I love that game. It was one of my favorites.
There you go, adventure. That's what it comes preset to.
That's number one. Nice. There's my game. That made my top seven, Papa Brad.
Hey, tell me what to do, T. I got the key. Where do I go?
Gotta find the
Okay,
other.
so it comes preset to adventure.
That's funny.
You got the Atari logo when you boot up.
Nice.
See if it can run this one. This is the deep cut. Probably not. Let's see.
There it is.
Run it, yeah.
Yep.
You hear that?
Ah, Berserk. I had that game too.
This one has the sound.
Yeah, what's loud?
Berserk with speech.
Original one did
Definitely one of the best Atari games for sure. Ooh. Chicken fight like a robot.
Yeah, I heard that. The voices seem a little low though, compared to the.
I don't have the sound turned up. I can turn the sound up.
But when you shoot them, that sounds louder than the voice. But yeah, graphics are going to look better because it's on a better TV.
Oh yeah.
And what we're used to when we were kids.
Yeah. Oh. Brutal.
I don't know if it's remastered or it's just because of the TV quality.
You're calling me a chicken. Actually, I got so used to the Retron joystick that the stiffer one is actually throwing me off.
Oh, I bet.
Because it's this is like really stiff, the joystick. Extra man time. Oof. Definitely one of the best Atari cards. So is Berserk. The best thing about collecting Atari is the best games are usually really cheap because they sold 1 million of them, you know?
Yep.
So like all the games that are really great are really dirt cheap to purchase.
And Jason said there's a 4.3 option. The default is 16.9.
Oh yeah, on the back. Hold on, let me switch that. I just noticed. I didn't even notice that. Hold on a second.
Do they have scan line, Jason?
No scan lines.
Scan line?
Oh, I did it now.
Yeah, that's the other reason why it looked better too, because there's no scan lines. Joystick feels like
the joystick is stiff, dude. This joystick is stiff. I'm so used to playing them where they're 50 years old and broken in. Yeah. I'm used to the 40-year-old broken in ones. This is like going back to original.
Yeah, I used to love that, man. When you get a new one, it's like, it feels so good. It's good. Especially since we were playing with the broken ones for so damn long.
Come on now. Okay, looking good. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not very good for Xbox either. Fun game.
Gonna add some Stargate.
Haunted House. Yeah, I think it was Haunted House.
Oh, it's frozen. Another interesting thing about the 2600 Plus is you can actually hot swap the cartridges. So like while it's on, you can pull the cartridge out and put another cartridge in, which is another thing that makes it kind of unique. Basically, it dumps the ROM from the cartridge and then runs it through emulation. So you can actually pull the cartridge out when it's playing, which is pretty crazy. You can never do that with a real Atari.
Your camera?
My secondary camera just froze up for some reason. Okay, this is actually the 7800 version of Miss Pac-Man. Let's check it out.
See, I never played this. I'm not really good.
Go on to the 7800.
Look at the flat pellets, but
Yeah.
but it sounds like it. And
Yeah, picture quality is great.
It's one of the few games I never played on a 7800. I come with five lives.
Yeah. And that's a Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, it's working great. The 7800 game.
Yeah, look at that.
Miss Pac-Man, no problem. Smooth as can be. HDMI out. High definition.
Yeah, it looks really good.
High definition, low definition. You know, it's kind of like retro high definition. I don't know what you call it, but pretty cool.
They did a good job on this Pac-Man.
Yeah, this Miss Pac-Man is not bad. You gotta remember how old this is too. This is ancient.
Oh, I know. It looks great.
I mean, if you remember Miss Pac-Man on the 2600, this was a huge step up.
Oh yeah, huge.
I didn't get anyone. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get them there.
Man, look how fast they're moving already.
Come on, so we get off floor and get greedy. There you go.
Corho, 89, get bigger. No, Marine 15, no, they were gone. Yeah, it was basically what might happen. Yeah, I had because I was buying up the Atari 2600 cartridges, once the 7800 was out, all those stores would sell them for like a buck. So I was buying cartridges left and right because 2600 cartridges were $1. So I had probably about a good 80 of them, all gone.
We gotta go down the next floor.
I don't know.
This is actually the good Pac-Man game for the 2600. Junior Pac-Man.
Oh, Junior Pac-Man.
This one was good. Oof. Good old demon attack, man.
I like Junior Pac-Man.
So
I always remind me of it.
yeah, I forgot. I should have gotten some Q-tips and some alcohol. I have some alcohol. I just don't have the Q-tips to clean the cartridges. Some of these old cartridges need to be cleaned before I load up. So this is an iMagic game. So we've loaded up some Activision games. We did Keystone Capers. Did we do another Activision? This is iMagic. We did Atari. We did Asteroids and Junior Pac-Man. We did a 7800 game. We did Miss Pac-Man 7800.
Gotta play some River Raid.
Oh, I got River Raid. Yeah.
I can play that on my that game though.
Once again, like this is a real common card. This is a great cartridge though. This is a common one too. This one's not usually real expensive, but the gameplay is great. I mean, very good, challenging retro game. Demons keep changing. Behavior changes. Look at that, man. It just gives and it takes away.
Always remind me.
Eventually, they start splitting up. Like you shoot them and they split into two. And you got different kinds. There we go. Now they're starting to split. See? Oh, now you got the kamikaze. The kamikazes now. They're going to come at you that way.
Galka, I'm coming at you.
Definitely, this one here is one of my. This one lives in my Atari. I mean, lately this one's been living in my Atari. I've been playing this one a lot.
Dark Rome asks, Papa Brad, I have a question for you. Do you play with your mouth open? Because I used to do that a lot. I know that.
I might.
Oh
no! What am I doing? I'm torturing you.
The poor Pac-Man.
Okay, all I gotta say, look how good Junior Pac-Man looked compared to this, though. See, they should have put Junior Pac-Man out first. It does run. Playing some original Atari 2600 Pac-Man. Wasn't a warp in the middle.
No.
This was nothing like Pac-Man.
Nothing at all.
It's glorious. It's glorious in how bad it is.
It's horizontal. It's supposed to be vertical.
I know. It has all the intermissions, right? Just like the real Pac-Man.
I played it. Spent a lot of hours on it, though.
Yeah, I did too. Okay, so there's that.
I was so sad to play this when I was a kid. What do you mean, Pac-Man? That scores on tap? My dad really enjoyed it. My dad really liked it.
Yeah, a lot of people liked Pac-Man when it came out.
I mean, I played it a lot.
It's popular. I mean, we all played it, but
it's like nothing like the arcade at all.
Nothing like the arcade. Nothing like the arcade. This game here, this game was really well done. Centipede. This was done by the creators of Centipede. Look at that. That animation's crazy.
Basic math. I'm for that.
This is a surprisingly good version of Centipede. Have you ever played this, T?
Yeah, we had this one.
It's not bad.
My sister liked it.
I love it.
No, it's not. It isn't bad.
It's really amazing what they were able to accomplish, considering it's a 2600. You got the flea. It's not bad.
That's one of the ones that's close.
I think was it General Computing Dynamics, the company that made Miss Pac-Man, made this.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this was one of the ones they made. Same people that made Miss Pac-Man, and it they did some other games too. But Miss Pac-Man was their biggest one, I think. Ooh, already getting crazy.
You did a great job on the sound for the whole movie. Yeah, the sounds are good.
That the poison mushrooms.
The shroom.
I want to get the 7800 version of this cartridge of this game too, so I can have them all. I like Centipede a lot. Extra Man sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, this is running good. How's the picture? Does it look crisp?
Yep. Yeah, it looks good.
Good.
Jason said play Spider-Man for 2600.
Let's see if I have that one. I don't know if I have that one. Oh! It's been a while. Okay, so let's see.
What is this, Crazy Climber?
No, this is Spider-Man.
Like Crazy Climber.
It kind of looks like Crazy Climber.
Got it?
Do a quick little pause right there. If anyone in the live stream has any questions about the 2600 Plus, just put them in the chat. I'll stop this video and we'll discuss it. This will be my live stream content for the Atari 2600 Plus review. If you have any questions, just feel free to put it in the comment and I'll stop this video. And we only got a few minutes left. So if you have a question you want to ask me about the 2600 Plus, just put it in the comments right now in the chat. Thank you. Okay, I see.
can only hit the yellow even diagonal.
Okay, so even when you shoot diagonal, you got to land on the yellow. I got you. Oh, there's bombs over there. Okay, but you can save yourself if you have enough room.
Yeah, nice.
Interesting. Look, he swings. You can go up.
We have to go there. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
look out, sucker.
you gotta get on those rectangles. Ah.
It's harder than it looks, Team McCloskey. Okay, time this. Okay.
There you go. Uh-oh. I want to go that
I was
bomb.
trying to cheat. I was trying to cheat it.
You can't cheat stuff.
Spider-Man.
Ah, I thought you had that.
I thought I had it too, man.
You go straight up.
There we go. You gotta let go of it just at the right time. Oh, there was the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin was up there. Green Goblin was up there.
You saw the Green Goblin.
What do I do when I get to the Green Goblin? How do I defeat him?
You shoot him.
With the what? The web?
I don't know. The bombs maybe?
I think I got to get up the top.
You just got to pass them. No?
I don't know.
Save yourself, Papa Brad. Save yourself. Save yourself. You sure that's his web?
Yeah, it's his web.
Third leg. You can save the people in the windows.
Oh, those you can save those people.
Yep.
Those are bad guys, or those people you can save?
Those are people you can save.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you so much for joining us. That'll wrap up my live stream.